Wacky Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered, the real deal. No pre-planning, no chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, live from the legendary Velasquez Studios right here in scorching San Antonio, Texas, man. I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's show. We've been prepping for the show for, quite some time. We have tonight no instruments, no vocals, just three artistic minds that between the three of them, music galore. I don't even want to take a shot at probably how many songs have these guys' fingerprints over them, but I'm sure it's quite a bit, man. So tonight, if you're tuning in, you're just a fan of Tejano music, sit back, man, relax, learn something. If you have some questions, ask some questions. Eddie's gonna try to stay on top of it, or we could see the comments there on the bottom. We could read the questions if you have it directed to any certain individual that we have on tonight's panel. Being here today, from the moment you walk into this place, it just has a nostalgia that it's a very hard thing to describe. Here off camera, I was talking to a good friend, Boo Real, and some guys that kind of walked in. It's like it really is, man. That from the time you open the door, you can feel the magic that has come out of the great music that has been produced in this lone studio that sits. You probably passed by this place, ladies and gentlemen, a million times, and you would never know that this is where the magic happens and is made, man. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my guests this evening, three of Tejano music's great producers. Here they are, right here. Mr. Gilbert Velasquez,
hey.
Mario Ortiz, and Sevi Contreras. What's up, gents?
What's up? That's your cue, Eddie. So, here we are, man. He said, we've been planning this a long time. That's not true, dude.
So there.
He told me about this, a couple of months ago, but just till like last week, we kind of put this thing together in kind of somewhat a hurried kind of way. This afternoon, we set up a couple of lights and cameras, and it is what it is. But with this, how do you say this ain't the first rodeo? So we got this.
No,
hopefully
for sure.
Tonight we can share some experiences and like that. And today it's more about what these guys do in the background. A lot of times it's about the artist. Yeah, we get that. But there's other people that make that happen. And it was my hope to share that. And Bumper was nice enough to invite me and to see where this goes, as they say. So I have Mario and I have Sebi. These two guys, I've known them forever. They've both been in and out of the studio here a lot in the past so many years. And I invited them to come out and we can all just talk candidly about whatever, really, man. It's not even about music. Talk about the orange guy, whatever, man. So we're here.
Hey, por favor, before we go any further, please put the banner on the bottom of that screen just one time, just for legal representation, just on the bottom, just let it
the
go.
Disclaimer, right?
Yeah, there's the views expressed in this interview.
Yeah, there you
right
go.
There. No, tu, Gibby.
But how did you know who I was talking about when I said the orange guy? That could be anybody.
Well, I just want to make sure it's not that guy.
Okay, you mean the Cheeto guy, that little
That dude,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
dude. No, but no, man. It's it's just a nostalgia in here, and seeing Sevi and Mario walk in, and seeing their faces light up as well. You could tell that they've. We're gonna get into it, but I assume that you two maybe have learned a few of your tricks from this place. Is that safe to say?
Oh yes,
No,
definitely.
most definitely, man.
Yes, definitely.
What kind of tricks, man? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
No, I'm very blessed. I've been doing this a long time, and I've had numerous people come through my door, and the way I work, I usually write out music. I get together with the artists, we select songs and like that. But I always need somebody here on my back, that's got my back here, to be able to read these charts that I put together, and that in itself is quite a task. Not anybody can do that. There are a few who can do that and do it tastefully, and in time, and all of those things. And the people that have come through here have been able to do that, and then they move on to their own. This is America. You do whatever you want. So, but still, these people remain friends of mine, and with the respect, they're here today to share stories or comments or whatever. And like I said, we could talk about. Doesn't have to be about music, man. So I don't know, Mario. What do you think? Hopefully, let's see where this goes, man. Shoot, man.
Yeah, it's like you said, man. It's not our first rodeo, right? So, when Gilbert kind of approached me about this, what are we gonna talk about, and
Yeah.
what can we talk about, and what's the limit, and because we got plenty of stories, bro. But maybe we have some advice as well. I mean, because a lot of these up and comings and even the veterans, man, they still go through us, right? And like Gilbert said, man, we're a huge part of that. A lot of people don't know that.
No.
And I want to say, and I'm not trying to speak for everybody here, right? But it's a pretty common thing is they don't see like all the hard work we put in, the late hours.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's it's a task.
Yeah.
And a lot of time, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but all the props go to the artist. Yeah, that's cool. That is what they do. But without these guys back here, that just wouldn't happen. I would challenge any air quotes artists, to do it on their own. I see you get up on stage by yourself there, dude, without these guys, and that wouldn't happen. And it kind of sometimes gets under my skin there. You see the success of a lot of people, but over here in our world, this is what we do, man. Day in and day out, making music. You get criticism, it sounds the same, it sounds like this. And when people tell me that it sounds the same, and I'm quick to say, well, let me hear your stuff, dude. What have you done?
Right.
Yeah, well, no, you don't have to be a hater.
Eddie, I'm loving tonight's show, bro. I'm kicking. Hey, give me a beer, dude. Give me a beer. I'm gonna sit back.
No, come on, no, really,
no.
I've shared that story with others.
You guys are right, Gibby. You guys are right. This is one of the things. As the people watching, you guys are fans of La Onda, right? These are the things that you guys don't. I mean, I'm sure that they go to a studio to record, but you don't realize the hard work these guys put into the like. No, do it again. No, that I've been in here a few times. I've been to Mario's studio a few times. Like, it's got to be aggravating. To me, it's got to be like I couldn't do what you do because like you want it to sound a certain way, and the artist is doing it the complete opposite over and over and over again. Gibby, are you really nice when somebody does that, or are you No,
you know what? I try to be nice, but in my passion to get it right, honestly, I may come off a little salty, but at the
A little?
Come on. But at the end of the day, it sounds great. You can't deny that.
That's right.
It comes out good, man.
Wait, let me interrupt. Like in the beginning, I used to work with Gilbert for over 15 years, bro. Just
that long, dude?
Yes, longer, since like 99.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I remember when this guy called me, he would send me these demos. He was hungry to do this, I had other people working here at the time, but they were kind of on their way out, and they're gone. But Mario quickly filled that position. I could hear what he was doing. Yeah, this guy's got it. And he came in here, and he kind of learned the ropes quickly. And yeah, we still make music together. But we made a lot of music there. Shoot, man. I've been in here since 95, and you came in here shortly after that.
Like
right?
90, the latter part of 99.
99. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe about 5 years ago or so, maybe, I don't know, he took that leap of faith, and, he's doing okay. Good, man. I thought those, okay? So, but I'm sorry I interrupted where you were going with that, and now you forgot what you were saying, right?
Oh, no, real quick. Just because of what you were talking about in the beginning, like, I would get mad at him, like, Gilbert, hey, leave him alone, dude.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, hey, cálmate, bro. Man. But I get it now because after so many, experiences that we've had, man, like you get to that point to where, hey, it's like at a rehearsal with a musician. Come to the rehearsal prepared, not practice there at the rehearsal and learn the stuff.
Yeah, when we're gonna rehearse, we're not gonna learn the song.
Yeah.
You should have done that already. That has happened to me in my world where somebody shows up, and it gets a little hostile. Okay, and the guy says, "Hey, why are you ragging on me like that, dude?" Because I gave you the music, dude, and you show up and you don't. We're all sitting here, we're waiting, while you're trying to figure out what's going on there. But you had the music beforehand. You chose not to study it. And now we're here, and you feel pretty stupid, don't you? So that has happened before, and that's why in our world, you need to be prepared, man. You guys,
That's right.
hey, I'm serious, man. These guys are laughing at it, but that's the way it is, bro.
But that's what I was trying to get to, like just.
But you, Mario, I could see like knowing Gibby, right? I the way he is, I could see him getting salty and getting upset, like right. Mario, you're around him. I could see him getting upset, but it's not gonna be like. It's not gonna be salty like this guy.
What do you mean salty?
But hold on. We're gonna work away. But Sevi, dude, I don't think Sevi has a mean bone in his body. But I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. Sevi, do you get upset with your artist or no?
No, I'll tell you. Wait a minute. Let me answer that. Sebi, he has his heat shield. What is that? He'll go in the parking lot and
Relax.
and relax. And then, he's just coasting there, man. So he's probably
So we can put up with it and have patience,
so,
but yes.
yeah.
But I think,
he's probably doing the right thing there,
I
man.
think Gibby, has what it's called tough love, bro.
Yeah.
It's called tough love.
No doubt.
And at the end of the day, he wants the best for the artist. He wants the best for any group that comes in here. And in order to do that, you have to grab the best out of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't know it.
Yeah.
You got to pull it out of them, man.
And sometimes they have to cry and weep and whatever, or dig in their pocket, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But hey, get it right. Get it right. And that's the thing. I'm honored, to be here. When Gibby called me about this and stuff, I'm very honored to be here. As a mentor, this is one of the mentors that I grew up with. And honestly, and I've seen him grow.
I hope my mom is watching
their life. Yeah, yeah, and of course of the greats. Going along with Manny Guerra, Tony Gonzalez, of course Gilbert Velasquez, Joe Trevino, Brian Moore. These guys are all really great. Me being young and looking at these guys. I would see Gibby coming from Manny's and recording whoever it was, and then going to Joey's, he's recording Grupo Mas.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's back over here somewhere else, and then he's back at Joey's recording.
And then later at night we're playing at the Latin Corner.
Yeah, and at the night, yes, recording at that, and so seeing him like he said, we all branch off, and I was so happy to see Gibby finally get his own place here and make his own dreams come true, because sometimes we're all over the place, but if it wasn't for guys like Gibby, Tony Gonzalez, Manny Guerra, all these guys who have paved the road for us, we wouldn't be here.
You said something right now, dreams come true. You know what, this was never a dream for me, man. I still consider myself just a guitar player from the barrio there. I just kind of fell into this. You mentioned Manny. Yes, Manny's the guy that hired me like a studio musician, and he was so busy. He asked me if I would help him record, and that was in 1980, dude. And he created a monster. But the tough love, I got that from him.
Yeah.
If you think this guy is kind of high pressure, no, he was really on your ass.
Yes, he was.
If you didn't know your stuff, and yes, so I learned from him. Yeah, and he did tell me, your name's going out on there. When it sounds bad, the artist's going to say, I don't know, that's the way he did it. They're always going to blame you. So you got to make it sound as good as you can. So they can't say that,
Right.
So to this day, yes, that stands true.
Yes, sir. A little prayer for Mr. Manny Guerra, is going through a little bit of difficulty in health and stuff like that. Pero saludos para él y también Tony Gonzalez también. I stay in contact with all these guys.
Talk to Tony.
All these guys, I stay in contact. Whether it be Gibby, and I call him once in a while, and
coming like once a year.
Once a year, yeah, once a year.
Okay.
And just,
his birthday.
just to say hi, make sure that we're okay, But I think we all look out for each other.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a kind of like a different kind of love. doing this kind of work, engineering, whatever we're arranging, whatever we're doing, it's a different kind of love that we have for each other.
And honestly, these guys, and there may be others, they understand the whole gist of what it is we do. The frustrations that come along with this work. Dealing with people that how can I say this? Nowadays, everybody's got some kind of computer program that they're recording at home, in the garage, underwater, whatever they're doing. But then they bring their files here and they want you to work on it and
make miracles and all that.
Yeah.
He said make miracles.
In the hands of a competent, what do you want to call this person? Musician, whatever. Yes, that stuff really works. But like I said, this is America. You do whatever you want, man. Some kid gets this software and they're trying to record and they really don't know what the hell they're doing. But then they want to come over here and try to fix stuff. And that's where, we've all been down that road where somebody, can you do this? And man, it's rough. And then honestly, in my world, this is what I do for a living, man. So it's hard to tell somebody, no, I can't do that. And it's work. You charge them extra because it's a mess. Yes. And I'll tell them that, dude, you want me to fix this, man? You'd be better just redoing it here. But if you want me to fix this, it's a hustle. Yeah, it's business. Music business is a hustle, and this thing too goes along with it.
And for the people watching, I kind of want to walk through what it's like for these guys, right? They're great producers. They work. They played. Great bands. Mario many years with Jay Perez, right? The Latin Breed. Sevi with Texas Latino. So they're not just, they're musicians as well. You know what I mean? They're not just producers. So for the people watching, kind of walk us through what it's like for a producer. Hey, I'm driving home from HEB, song comes on, and I start singing, and my wife's like, "Wow, Bumper, you have a great voice. I think you should record a song," right? And I call you up, Gibby, say, Gibby, you know what? My wife said I got the greatest voice since sliced bread. I'm thinking about doing a song.
Sure.
How much is a song? And it's whatever the price is, right? I come in here. Is there any part of that where you're like, no, dude, like I can't work with you, or you're not musically inclined? Like, I don't know who told you this. Basically, do you ever tell somebody no if the money is still right?
Yes, I've done that, man. But he was just hold that thought. That's a twofold question there. Have I told somebody no? I had somebody come in one time. This has been not so long ago. It was a child. Okay, the parents came in with her. She already had the Selena outfit on. They're sitting here, and Mija can sing. And she's got the hat. Blah 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 blah. And they're saying, listen to this, and I clearly hear, she's a child, she's underdeveloped, she's nowhere near where she could be to give him any justice, And the guy had the checkbook out; he's ready to pay whatever, man. So I talked with him, and I said, listen, you're in the 3rd, 4th grade, whatever it was, and who's your favorite singers? And she mentioned A, B, C, and D, and I said, you should listen to all of them and really study them and try to mimic what they're doing. And once you have all of these people, that creates your style, your little bit of this and that, and that's you. That could work for any person, any instrument. But regardless or irregardless, which word is it? I don't know. So I told her, why don't you continue in school, of course, and maybe later on, if you study these styles, you can your skill level could be up a little bit, and then I can honestly say perhaps we can do something. But the parents were really hungry for it. They were pushing, and I told them, man, to wait. But days later, the dad sent me an email. Sorry to waste your time, Mr. Velasquez. We went with this guy. I'm not going to mention any names. And he took the gig. I said, look at this guy, man. This poor child couldn't sing to save her life, but he took the money, man. So you never heard anything about it, but I guess they got their recording. That was requested. Do you ever say no? Yes, I said no. The other one was about, can you sing? Can you do something? It's kind of scary out there with AI being what it is, and it's getting better by the day, man. We can make a recording. We're going to do this recording for you, dude, for your theme, whatever. And maybe we'll get you to sing it because it's your show, dude, and you're asking for it. So come on, step up.
Right, correct.
So we'll put it together. I'll play, he'll play, and you're going to play something, dude. So there.
So there.
Yes. Anyway, moving on.
Mario, go ahead.
don't know, where
I
do we
would
pick up?
I would say the same thing. I've said no. I've said no. I've said no to a lot of artists that have come in.
A lot?
I would yes, because sometimes I don't want to waste my time. You know, Gibby. We don't want to waste anybody's time. And I always tell them, you know, hey, get vocal lessons.
Yes.
Well, why are you gonna spend time with me here? You know, get vocal lessons on that one song that you need help with, and you come back when you're ready. Why am I gonna waste your money and waste my time and everything? And you know, and
Yes.
and it's not worth
Well,
it.
one
you
thing
know?
I've honestly said to them is, listen, man, we're here to record, and what's happening right now is I'm trying to give you vocal lessons. And that's not what we're here for.
That's
man.
right.
That's
Mhm.
not what you're. Home and find somebody out there that'll their air quotes again.
Right.
You know, we're going over and over and over, and what's that phrase? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity. Yes, that's what's going on here. But anyway, to that, yes,
Yes, yeah, and I agree with you. And sometimes, you know, we want the best for our names on it. Okay, so at the end of the day, we want the best, you know, for them, and it's up to us. Sometimes some other producers don't do that. Some people will take the money, like you say,
yeah.
and they'll take the money and run with it, and the hell with it, how they sound, you know. And it's not. That's from me, coming from me. I don't do that, and I know Gibby doesn't. Gibby takes pride in what he does. So does Mario. And we all have to. I think, you know, it's up to us. You know, we're the ones at the end of the day that have to make the decision. You know, so but that's my
Okay.
thought on it. You know,
So this
Hold up
guy's
right
deep
there.
in thought,
Eddie.
man. What are you thinking?
No, I mean this kid. What happened? Pause.
We're gonna swap out a cable. 'Cause I think we're having issues. It's the audio. What do you need to see?
No, you're still live. We're
So just switching out the audio cable.
hopefully this helps.
And somebody said, you guys are in a friggin' studio.
Yeah, we're in the studio, right?
Put on my gear.
We're in the studio. All right.
See,
Well, we're all depending on you.
yeah.
We'll blame it on Bumper.
Blame it on me. It's all
Blame
good.
it on Bumper. Yeah, that's it.
How we looking there, Eddie? Okay. Well, we
guess
switched
I
out a
don't
cable,
know,
ladies and gentlemen. Let us know if we sound a little bit better. We'd greatly appreciate it if it. I'm gonna swing by and really ask the hard questions. A la madre.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring it.
Okay, Carlos, we're ready for you for these hard
Carlos.
questions. No, so Tejano music. Is that you, Eddie, or is that us? Okay, so Tejano music, man. I know this guy right to my left. He's and I was with him today here. He's very, Gibby, you're really hard on what's Tejano and what's not Tejano. And before you talk, I wanna say, like, I've watched over the years when people post, like, I follow you on social media. Sometimes you're one of those guys that go right at it, and you're like, no,
Me?
hell no, that's not Tejano music, right? And you stand on it, like you stand on it. There's no in between. There's no it's not just right away. It's not. So you know. What do you think, Gib?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Well, that conversation we had earlier, I forgot what was playing on here, but you were saying that's Tejano music, and to me, maybe I'm an old school kind of guy. I'm a little older than a lot of people. Today times have changed, right? But back in the day, what we would call just straight ahead conjunto music, they're calling that Tejano music, and as time passes more, the line is getting blurred more to where that's kind of norteño-ish, but they call it Tejano. That's radio doing that, and probably the audience, they're calling this Tejano to where I came from, and when I began in this business, it was very obvious to what was Chicano Tejano music and what was norteño music or conjunto music. So now those lines are blurred, right? I said that, yeah. So now when I hear something and they're labeling it as Tejano, it just doesn't. I'm just stating my own opinion that it kind of doesn't sit well with me. But hey, I'm not the guy that makes rules.
But
That's just
but
my
do
opinion.
you think Gibby, that we're not, by saying that sometimes, that we're not allowing Tejano to evolve?
To evolve, listen to that. It's evolved big time, dude. Yeah, Ali. What do you mean evolve? How are you saying that?
Well, what I mean is, like, if there's new music coming out, and sometimes artists come out with a new this goes for all three of you. Music comes out, and then right away it's like, no, that's not Tejano. That's doesn't have keyboards. It's not Tejano. It's real cut and dry. But I think Tejano, eh, one, it's a culture, right? It's a lifestyle, and the music falls under there. But you don't think that we're keeping it from evolving by saying things like that, or assuming that that's not Tejano
I don't know.
music?
That's just one man's opinion. You said something right now that caught my. It's a culture. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a culture. You go down nowadays, and there's the Tejano Club. Everybody's wearing blue jeans and hats. And I remember a time it wasn't like that. That came around later in the '90s, I guess. I don't know. But just my observation. I see it now, and the music that I make, I said, man, you think these people are getting off on that? They want to hear accordion. They want to hear this, And I've been doing this for a while, and the music that I do, I would want to say is more orchestrated, there's more of a musical component in there, and no hatred to anybody. It's just not a straight ahead accordion. I'm gonna, spice it up and change chords and reharmonize and all of that crazy stuff. So it evolved. Yes, it certainly evolved. The Frontera guys, they call themselves Tejano.
Well, they don't call themselves that. I'll clear that. I don't think I've ever called. Now they've said they grab some of their
influences.
Right, their influences are Tejano, right? They're a group from the Frontera, right? They grab from both sides of the border. But I mean, I'll shoot towards Mario. Carol G song. Like the Carol G song she did with a little bit about, it sounded like Selena. Like, people right away was, oh, that's not Tejano. Well, shit. Well, I mean, you put it right next to a Tejano song. I mean, it's the same thread.
Yeah.
Am I wrong or?
No, you're right. The thing is, it wasn't from here, I guess. That's why people won't accept it. I don't know. Because it's a cumbia. You hear the keyboards, you hear the strumming. But I don't know. I mean, I've always said, you know me, with Bruno Mars. I'm always throwing that clavo in there. But what if he made a Tejano record? And it's just straight up Tejano, rancheras and cumbia.
Yeah.
Is it Tejano or not?
I would say so if he did it.
It's like this whole thing with Beyonce and the country thing. She's not country, but she did a country album. But it's not country. Well, I don't know. She's winning country awards and so I don't know. It's
the Grammy people made another category just to kind of appease that part of the audience. So now you got country and you got, I don't know what they're called, hip hop country, progressive country.
So dude, it's a good thing you just said that, because that's what I feel like the how thing should go into if it wants to evolve. Because how has it evolved? Well, I mean, to me, it's just been from the '90s, and then we kind of just
going through social media, reading comments and stuff like that. Like, I know sometimes it's good and bad. You get people when they do a cover, they remake the song. This is the 50th time that they remake the song. But I as a musician, take y'all's musician hats off, put your producer hats on. Like, I see a musician making that song because, well, damn, if I'm making new music, and nobody's paying attention to it, but yet if I remake this song, people know it, they'll dance to it, right? They'll sing along to it because they know it.
But it's all about this social media world too, bro. Because like right now, if you read articles, go online and look it up. The cover thing, it's a phase right now. This is what's happening. People are doing covers, whether it's Tejano, whether it's mainstream, whether it's whatever. And now people are like, oh yeah, covers. Before it used to be, now you better do original songs or else. So I don't know. Like I see, like it's just the way of the world now is kind of changing everything in a lot of aspects, man. A lot of I don't know, businesses.
I think, music, and as far as Tejano music, right? We live in a different world. Given in the 80s, the early 90s, mid 90s, we had to wait. We were talking about this earlier. We listened to terrestrial radio, and if you didn't have the CD, you heard a song, you had to wait. You had to keep listening to the radio to hear that one song you wanted to hear again, right? And nowadays we have these things, and we have instantaneous access, right, to any song that we want to hear. So I think that changed a lot of things.
Changed the way people listen to music, certainly. Right?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And the fact that we're able to get, you know what I'm saying, to get the music when we want it, how we want it, it makes a huge difference, because now you have to make music quicker. I think, as a fan of music, like you can't sit on a song. An artist can't sit on a song for 45 days and think that song's going to carry him for 45 days. It's because it's instant access to that song. Hey, they want something else. They want something else. So, do you guys see that? Is there a formula to that? Right now, with the way the world is, is there a formula to putting out music? If you're an artist,
nowadays, to get the quick upload to social media, that's the way most people are doing it nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
it wasn't like that before, and nowadays in my world, for a long time, your job was to make music, and record it, mix it, whatever, doing whatever it is we do. But now the customer wants you to, okay, now can you upload it? Well, I don't do that. Pay somebody else. That's another. It's another part of the gig now that just didn't exist earlier. And to what you're saying there, they want to record a couple of songs and upload it and see where it goes from there, as opposed to doing a complete CD. Some people still do that, but I want to say the newbies on the block, not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's the way the world is kind of going, to just doing a couple of songs and upload it and continue working to where at the end of the day, well, of course, CDs are kind of passe, they would say.
Yeah.
But to get a 10-song project and upload that, the customer is only going to buy one song at a time, right?
Yep.
So there, man, it's kind of a complicated issue there, man. Catch-22.
Yes, sir.
Anyway.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting messages like some of you guys can hear it perfectly. Some of you guys are hearing it coming in and out. So, Eddie, are we good on that end, or no? Do you think we should stop and restart? Yeah, this is too much There's too much knowledge here, too much great information. Grab yourself something to drink, ladies and gentlemen. It is a live show. We're going to come right back. Give us like 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to address this issue instead of doing it now. So go get your popcorn, your pickle, your soda,
A personal
your
break.
beer. You got a break. We'll be right back.